Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss the major subjects about the value added tax which was implemented in 1st January 2018 onwards in United Arab Emirates. So the basic points when we discuss about the value added tax is how we are going to calculate the tax on your sales and purchases. This is the major point where we are going to discuss today. I know, yes, you guys are already aware about these kind of things, but when it comes to a normal business owner or a junior accountant or an auditor, there are certain points that we need to discuss about the value added tax. So let's discuss about the three slabs are there in the value added tax. This is standard rated, zero rated and exempted. These are the three major slab rate in UAE VAT law. So there are two types of VAT, that is output tax and input tax. The output tax is calculated on sale of goods and services, as well as the input tax is calculated on the purchase and expenses. So there are certain areas that we need to concentrate. Okay, these are the areas we can claim back our input tax. On output tax there will be zero rated as well as standard rated, then exempted. So let's discuss one by one about what all are the items comes under the standard rated of 5%, then what all are the items comes under the zero rated, then the last one is coming on the exemption. So that will be obviously, we cannot be claim back input tax or we cannot be charged the output tax for that item. So standard rated is all the services and goods which are dealing in the mainland of the company, is we are charging 5% standard rate tax over there. When it comes to export of goods or services, these are the items comes under the zero rated tax. Now, apart from that, there will be some other zero rated tax which will be mainly from education sector and healthcare industry. Yes. Then let's move to the tax exemption. What all are the items or services that comes under the tax exemption? This is mainly relating to the government entities, then relating to bare land and some of the residential. Yes, on the residential buildings there will be no VAT on their expenses, so this will be coming under the exemption. So these are the common idea about the VAT. Now let's start with some of the questions you have already raised from our clients. So you guys can ask one by one questions about, okay, if you have any concerns or doubts about any of the VAT system in the UAE, let's discuss about more detail about those kind of things. Yes, you guys can start with Diba.
So I have a question. I have a client who is into the export business. So she's a resident here and also she wants to do her business in the mainland. So my question is very simple. Do she have to pay for the VAT or for the export duties on the goods and services?
Let's break it into two sectors. Like in the export of businesses, there are services as well as the goods. So in terms of goods, yes, and services on another scenario. So both we have to be justify ourselves or prove ourselves this will be an export of services. If this is an export of goods and services, this will be comes under the zero rated, as everyone knows that we have mentioned this already. So when it comes to the goods, how we will support those goods that we export to the outside the UAE, that's with the help of airway bill or bill of lading or any other documents which is going to justify or support that these goods has delivered outside the UAE. That is in cases of goods. But when it comes to services, how you will prove that, okay, this is the services we have given in the outside? How? Yes, that's the question. So here maybe in front of the law there is nothing specifically mentioned in the VAT law, but we can say in this way, like if the customer is in UK and the services are going from here to the UK company, we can justify in a way those address relating to the client are there in the UK. Yes, in that case it will be considered as an export of services. So in your client place, this is going to be happen over there. It will be commonly coming under the zero rated category. Then according to the scenario wise, this can be justified with the help of the supporting documents. Alright, so let's move to the another question. Whoever has, yes, yeah, please.
So I have a question. What is the difference between input tax and output tax?
Input tax and output tax. Let's come back to that subject. Let's assuming, okay, you are the business owner of the company. then if that's the case, there will be a validity for that question. Why I need to tell you in that way? If you are a business owner, you don't want to lose any fills from your company. So you need to claim back all the input tax and you need to pay the output tax to the government. So input tax is the VAT paying on your expenses and purchases. This can be claimed back from government. Output tax is something which you are collecting on top of your sales, then you pay back to the government. So in this case, usually you are acting as a mediator or agent for the government to collect the VAT from your end customer. So these are the major difference between input tax and output tax. And of course, yes, you have to pay in output tax minus input tax, that will be the tax payable to the government.